Somewhere right now, a dog is running at 40 kilometers an hour toward a man holding a fake knife, and in about 2 seconds, it's going to hit him so hard he'll be lifted off his feet. That dog isn't a wolf. It isn't a pit bull. It isn't even the biggest dog in the room. It's a Belgian Malinois. And by the end of this video, you're going to understand why the world's most elite military and police units chose this one breed over every other dog on the planet, including the German Shepherd everyone assumes is tougher. Stick around, because what this dog can do to the human body and what's going on inside its head is genuinely unsettling once you know the details. Let's start with the size trick, because this is the first thing that catches people off guard. A Belgian Malinois usually weighs somewhere between 25 and 30 kilograms, which honestly isn't that impressive on paper. A Rottweiler can weigh twice that. A Mastiff could sit on a Malinois and end the conversation. But weight was never the point. The Malinois was bred for one job: herding cattle across the fields of Belgium by nipping at the heels of animals 10 times its size and getting out of the way before it got kicked into next week. That means every ounce of this dog is built for speed, reaction time, and relentless motion, not bulk. And that turns out to be exactly what makes it terrifying in a real confrontation, because raw strength can be predicted and braced against. Speed can't. Here's the number that should actually scare you. A Belgian Malinois can hit bite forces around 195 to 200 pounds per square inch, which sits right up there with much larger breeds. But the bite force isn't even the scariest part. It's what happens before the bite. Trainers and handlers who've worked protection dogs describe the Malinois' attack as a blur, because it doesn't lunge in a straight, predictable line the way most dogs do. It changes angles mid-sprint, it fakes toward one side of the body and drives into the other, and it hits with enough force to knock a full-grown adult onto the ground on impact alone before the teeth have even done anything. Military units have documented Malinois taking down men wearing full protective bite suits with such force that the handler had to physically pry the dog off because the dog didn't register that the job was done. That's not aggression by accident. That's aggression by design, refined over generations of intentional breeding. Now here's where it gets genuinely eerie, because the physical stuff is only half the story. What sets the Malinois apart from almost every other working breed is what's happening in its brain during a confrontation. Most dogs, even trained protection dogs, experience something close to a fear or stress response when they're sent into a dangerous situation. Cortisol spikes, heart rate spikes, and there's a hesitation, even if it's a fraction of a second. The Malinois barely shows that pattern. Studies and field reports on working line Malinois consistently describe a dog that stays in what handlers call high drive, without the corresponding stress crash that other breeds show. In plain terms, this dog does not appear to experience the moment of hesitation that keeps most animals and most humans from committing fully to a dangerous action. It just goes. That single trait is why Navy SEAL Team 6 brought a Belgian Malinois named Cairo on the raid that killed Osama bin Laden instead of any other breed on Earth. Not because it looked intimidating, because in the moment that mattered, it wouldn't flinch, wouldn't freeze, and wouldn't stop. And that's the part that should really sit with you, because that same trait cuts both ways. The obsessive drive that makes a Malinois an unstoppable working dog is the exact same drive that makes it an absolute nightmare in the wrong hands or the wrong home. This is not a breed that turns off. Owners who buy a Malinois expecting a German Shepherd with a sleeker body end up with a dog that needs 2 to 3 hours of intense physical and mental work every single day, or it starts redirecting that drive into things like destroying furniture, obsessively chasing shadows, or in worse cases, redirecting that bite drive onto people or other animals in the house. Shelters across the US and Europe have quietly reported a surge in Malinois surrenders over the last several years, almost entirely traced back to one thing: the internet. Videos of police and military Malinois went viral. People wanted one because it looked cool and capable, and then they discovered they'd brought home a dog engineered over centuries for a job most households can't actually give it. So why does the military and elite police forces still choose this breed above literally every other option on the planet, including dogs that are bigger, dogs that are calmer, and dogs that are easier to train? It comes down to a combination that almost no other breed pulls off at once. The Malinois has the drive of a working dog obsessed with its task, the agility to clear 6-foot walls and squeeze through impossibly tight spaces mid-pursuit, the bite strength to genuinely incapacitate a threat, and a nose sensitive enough to detect explosives and narcotics at a level that rivals purpose-bred detection breeds. German Shepherds, for comparison, were the standard for decades, but they're prone to hip dysplasia and other joint issues that shorten their working careers, while Malinois tend to stay structurally sound and mission-ready for years longer. That's not opinion. That's why the ratio of military working dogs has shifted so heavily toward the Malinois over the last 2 decades that, in many elite units, it's now the default, not the exception. But here's the twist that most videos about this breed never mention, and it's the reason I wanted to make this one. The very same intensity that makes the Malinois legendary on a military base is completely misread by most people who meet one in a park. This is not, by nature, an aggressive breed toward humans it trusts. Properly worked and properly bonded, a Malinois is famously affectionate, almost clingy toward its handler, and will follow that person from room to room like it's physically uncomfortable being out of sight. The unsettling part isn't that this dog is a monster. It's that this dog has almost no ceiling on what it can become, in either direction, depending entirely on what you ask of it and how much of its brain you actually engage. Give it purpose and structure, and you get a dog capable of things that read like fiction. Give it boredom and neglect, and that exact same nervous system becomes something a lot of owners aren't prepared to handle. So the next time you see a Belgian Malinois clearing an obstacle course on a military training video, or trotting calmly next to its owner on a morning walk, remember you're looking at the same dog in both clips. Same drive, same brain, same complete unwillingness to hesitate when it matters. The only real question is what that intensity is being pointed at. If this pulled you in, subscribe, because we're going deeper into the working dogs the world depends on and doesn't fully understand. And trust me, the Malinois is not the only one that'll surprise you.